Today during class, Chrissy Diaz will report to me any students off task. As soon as it happens, Chrissy, make sure you text me on my Kick account. The same thing goes for Chrissy in 6th period, Chrissy Neal, and Mariah in 8th period. Now, Mariah, you take names and report it to Jessie since you don't have a cell phone, and Jessie will text me. As soon as I get the text messages, I will call the room and either have you sent out or call your parents immediately while I am at the staff development. I don't want anybody off task. I don't want anybody giving the substitute any problems. Chrissy Diaz, Chrissy Neal, Mariah, and Jessie, I don't care what kind of distraction it is, text me. They're laughing, playing, refusing to work, not being quiet, let me know. If the substitute is having a problem and the kids aren't listening, kick me immediately and let me know who it is, and I will call the classroom. For today's assignment, you will be given this packet that we started last class. You cannot use the calculator on the first page, so do not let them use the calculators. You are not allowed to use the calculators on the second page as well. No calculator. So when they're done with the second page, you can allow them to use the calculators for the rest of the packet. I need to go over a few questions here so you know how to do it, just in case you forgot. Ignore this title and ignore the directions because you don't know what that is. Just solve the rest of the packet for X or for the letter that's in the packet. Okay, so let me go over number 1. We're solving for X, so I need to put the X in one spot, do the opposite. This is 1x minus 3 equals 4. And then we're going to add 3 to move it away from x. 1x equals 7. Let's do number 3. Combine like terms first on both sides. So this side I'm going to do 3 minus 6, that's negative 3x. And then over here, it is 2x minus 1x, so it's 1x plus 3. Now I'm doing the same problem as number 1 and number 2 up here. Okay, so I need to move either the 3 or the 1. I'm going to move this one by adding, because I'm doing the opposite. That gives me negative 2 equals 4x plus 3. Yes, you can move the 1 if you want to, but I'm going to move the 3 so that I can have a positive x. Now I have to move the numbers that are on the right side because that's where the letter is. So I'm moving 3 by subtracting it. That gives me negative 5. Let me get another pen. I don't have one. Let's just use pencil. Alright. Negative 5. And then I divide by 4. And so my answer is negative 5 over 4. I want you to use menu 3-1 to check the answers for each one of these to see if you got it correct. If it's wrong, go back and fix it. Let me show you how to do number 4. Combine the terms over here first, so that would be these two, which gives me this. Okay, and then I'm going to subtract 2x. And then I'm going to divide by negative 4. Negative divided by negative is a positive. Okay, and I'll do menu 3-1 to check that. Don't forget, when you do menu 3-1, put the comma x, so it would look like in solve in the calculator, all of that, comma, x. And when you press enter, it should say 3/4. So you will do the rest of this packet, this entire page, combining like terms, moving things across the equal sign. You will do this side. Just in case anybody gets stuck on number 20, that is a plus sign. Minus a negative means add. So it's just 11n plus 6 equals 13n minus 3. Okay. Let's see. When we talk about these pages, I'm trying to get you ready for geometry. So what I want you to do is understand that solving equations happens next year. And this is what some of them will look like. So since this is a 90-degree angle, I add these two together and set it equal to 90. And I have my equation set up. So that's what you have to do next year. And we're going to practice it now so that you're prepared. Now you combine your like terms, so it'd be 4d plus 10 equals 90. And then you would subtract 10 because we're solving for d. And then we divide by 4. So I get that d is 20. Now, if I take 20 and plug it in, that's 3 times 20, which is 60, plus 5 is 65. So the measure of this angle is 65. Now take 20 and plug it in here. 20 plus 5 is 25. So the measure of this angle is 25. And 65 plus 25 gives me the entire angle, which is 90, because that box is there. So on number 8, it doesn't give me a box. It gives me this angle and this angle. So that's actually going to add up to 180. That's mainly all you need to know today for this part. 90 and then 180 for this line. This is 2e minus 6 equals 180. Add 6 to both sides. 2e equals 186. Divide by 2. And e equals, I will let you simplify that number. When you get that number, plug it in here and tell me the measure of each angle. Number 9, they already gave you what MOP is. So you just add the two together. 7x plus x minus 4 equals 60. Remember, there's a 1 right there. So now you can finish that. On number 10, the one thing you did not know is that these should equal each other, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put a negative sign in front of that. So change that problem for me to -2, okay? And I don't want to get into too much geometry, but whenever you have an x and the information is side by side here like this, the opposite sides of the x, it could be here or at the top and the bottom, you set them equal. So this becomes this. Okay, so make sure you put the negative in front of there. It's missing that. Set both of those equal and solve it. On number 11, you're going to do the same thing. Set them equal. And for those that just want to know, this is what you call vertical angles. And vertical angles are always equal to each other. So this angle and this angle. It's on the inside of the x. It could be here or here. You set them equal to each other. So it'd be that. For number 12, it tells you what the measure of the angle is. So you add those two together, set it equal to 100. Number 1, you would add them together and set it equal to, anybody know? Good job, 90. For these two, it's add them up and set them equal to what? 90. Okay, let's just pick one down here. 5. This angle plus this angle, is it 90 or 180? Good, 180. So you would add them together, set it equal to 180, and solve it. So this is what you have to do next year. If this is easy, then I've done my job. If it's not as easy, we need to fix it today. And since I'm not here with you, make sure the sub or someone in the classroom can give you assistance. Now, if you decide to get help from someone, be very cautious of your volume and tone. No playing, because Chrissy in 5th period, Chrissy in 6th, or Mariah or Jesse, they're going to text me. And if you're too loud and you start playing, there's going to be a consequence for that. That's the end of this video. When you finish each page, I need you to come to the sub and have her check your answers so that you can correct them.